Sair da escola já com uma formação profissional no currículo? Parece bom demais pra ser verdade, né? Pois é. No ensino técnico do Senac, isso é possível. É ensino médio junto com formação técnica, que acontece durante os 3 anos. Lá, eles usam metodologia para projetos, desenvolvendo competências como resolução de problemas, pensamento crítico e colaboração, além de valores éticos e sustentáveis. Quer saber? Senac. Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino médio e saiba mais.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
From my friends.
77 WABC.
Where's Chuck Schumer, the schmuck to putz? You see, I'm looking out for him. He's right across the street from WABC. Because when I run for mayor, it's going to be a tag team. Because Sid Rosenberg, who I have dubbed King David II as of October 7th, he's been magnificent, has overshadowed what should be the #1 Jewish guy in America protecting Jews. He's too busy writing a book on anti-Semitism. So I'm running for mayor, and I'm promoting Sid Rosenberg for the U.S. Senate slot to run against the putz, the schmuck, Chuck E. Cheese Schumer. In April of 2024, Sid went up to Colombia to protect the Jewish kids who are under attack. Where was the schmuck, the putz, Chuck E. Cheese Schumer? He was acting like a Palestinian, as Donald Trump said.
Schumer has become a Palestinian. Chuck Schumer is officially now a Palestinian.
My mission is to get Sid Rosenberg elected the next U.S. Senator to replace the schmuck, the putz, the hater of everything Jewish, the lover of everything Palestinian, Chuck Schumer.
What a great video. Curtis Sliwa in these studios on Saturday morning. I want to get to the content of that video, plus a whole bunch of other stuff with the great Curtis. But Bill White just hung up with us moments ago. Bill White, who loves it when I introduce him as my favorite homosexual. He has been nominated by President Trump as the ambassador to Belgium. Him and his husband, Brian, getting ready to move. He just sent this text. Literally took a screenshot and sent it to me, to Boris Epstein. I told him I think Boris is vetting me because Boris and I have been friends for years. And all of a sudden, yesterday morning, out of the blue, I noticed Boris Epstein started following me on Instagram. Here is what Bill White sent to Boris moments ago. Boris, you and PDJT, that stands for President Donald J. Trump, you and PDJT love Sid. Is there something the boss would give him or create, like ambassador at large for eradicating anti-Semitism, etc., or a commission handling something like that? With great respect, your friend Bill White. So now I got White out there working for me as well. I got a lot of folks working for me, but here he is, the host of the Rip and Read, noon to 1, every weekday afternoon, overnight weekends. Does a great job with me, the icon, the legend, Mr. Guardian Angel, Curtis Sliwa. I don't know where to start. You got the Bill White text. You got that great video with Chuck Schumer. Where do you want to go, Curtis?
Well, look, all politicians, almost all of them, are insecure. The only two that I remember that were never insecure, obviously Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. No insecurities there, man. He'd be chasing Trim, while jogging, looking for Mickey D's Big Macs, remember, at the start of his presidency.
Yes.
So you got to understand, Chuck Schumer's nervous now, even though the election isn't until like 2028, right? It's a 6-year term. He just narrowly beat Joe Pinion, a black guy who did not have a bris, I'm assuming, who is not Jewish. But against a Jew like you, come on, King David II, he knows that you may be nominated to be on the United States Holocaust Memorial Council in D.C. or the local Memorial Holocaust Council for the Holocaust Museum in the Battery. And now he's going to hear that Bill White, who you claim is your favorite gay guy, we'll get into that momentarily, is getting you involved in potentially a position in which you would oversee all the various anti-Semitic activities in the United States, and you would have to start investigating the brand new born-again Palestinian, first and foremost, Chuck Schumer. You understand? He's insecure.
Yeah.
He hears your name constantly.
But how do we know this? The only thing I saw from Chuck this weekend was him talking about the drones and how he thinks HHS should get involved.
Wait a second. You know how your people are. They're nudges, right? They're gossip mongers. I mean, they're like washwomen. They go to shul, right? They daven, they do their Torah, their Talmud, and what are they doing? They're gossiping. Oh, do you see what Sid said about you, Chuck? You see, and he keeps hearing this, even from his own wife, Iris Weisenhall, and they said, Iris, enough already. That's why I'm always in Washington. Trust me, I know this guy, the schmuck the putz Chuck E. Cheese Schumer. Remember, he was up for indictment, and he escaped. That's why when we talk all these indictments, this guy escaped a federal indictment by the Eastern District because Mario Faccia Brutta como made it go away. Mm-hmm. So you understand, he knows that you have ammunition now that everyone else has forgotten. But who did the deep dive and found that? My wife, Nancy, the E attorney. Hey, Chuck, you can run, but you can't hide. King David II, one-on-one, get into the ring of fire, and Sid will eviscerate you. You will.
I think I can beat him. I really do. But, you talk about, thank you for that, Curtis. You're talking about escaping indictments. I don't think your friend and mine, who has called this station more than once, specifically to get you fired, time and time again, Ingrid Lewis Martin, despite Arthur Idala's best attempts. She's not escaping indictment, is she?
By the way, notice, now you understand why Eric Adams, a swagger man with no plan, will never name and shame Alvin Bragg.
No.
Never.
I know.
This indictment is going to be by Alvin Bragg. When she got off of that Air Nippon flight from Japan with all of her cronies, in which they were getting wine-dined and pocket-lined on real estate deals, the people who showed up to snatch her phone and her laptop computer were detectives from Alvin Bragg's office. And then the U.S. attorneys raided her home. They got everything. She is going to be schwitzing the next few nights because I know Arthur Idala, he won't admit this. He's going to say, Ingrid, they got the goods on you big time. They don't want you. They want Eric.
Yeah.
And especially now that Eric is going to be on Dr. Phil primetime today talking about all the Catholics who were targeted by the DOJ and the FBI. I never heard that before in that MSNBC clip. He's talking Trump language. So now the Democrats, liberals, the socialists are whispering to Alvin Bragg and Tish James, if you get him, he can't get a pardon. If he gets implicated locally or statewide and there's enough there to charge him, Trump can't do anything for him. Can't do it. And Arthur Idala knows that. So he's going to be speaking to Ingrid and said, Ingrid, they got you by the short hairs here. They want a prompt session, which means they make her queen for the day. She comes in, tell us all you know. We really don't want you, Ingrid Lewis Martin. You know who we want. Your homeboy, Eric.
Well, talking about that cut from Eric Adams on MSNBC, which you brought up literally 1 minute ago, Curtis, here it is where he talked about not warming up to President Trump because of the threat and, of course, wanting a pardon, but rather it's all about New York City.
Mayor, let's talk about what seems to be your sort of warming relationship with the president-elect. And I just wonder, is there a connection between your federal indictment on campaign finance fraud charges and your apparent shift towards him?
Not at all. Listen, I did nothing wrong. I said that over and over again. I should not have been targeted in the first place. I've repeatedly stated that, and I think that we're finding out more and more some of the things that have been happening. DOJ, like putting parents on FBI watch lists for just standing up for their children. I want to be clear. I asked the current president, President Biden, to come to New York City to help me in 2022 to deal with gun violence. He arrived in the city, sat down with the police department. I met with his team several times initiatives, on several initiatives. That's the same way I feel with the incoming president. I am not going to be warring with this president. I'm going to be working with this president. The American people communicated. Not only did he win the electoral vote, he won the popular vote. They sent clear messages: affordability, public safety, securing our border. And I'm going to move in a direction to bring the resources home to this city. This is not about me, Jonathan. This is about we, the people of New York City. And I'm looking forward to getting some real things done.
So Maria Bartiromo played a cut yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures on Fox News of Adams and Holman. And I text Maria every Sunday while she's on the air. In my opinion, that is far and away the best Sunday show. Maria. And I go, he is so full of crap. And she answered me with, yep.
Yeah, they know. They know. They know. And by the way, when did he ever mention Catholics targeted by the DOJ and FBI?
Wait, how about parents?
Right.
How about parents?
That's Trumpian language. His lips are hermetically sealed on Donald Trump's tuchus. He wants a pre-pardon. That means he wants Trump to say all the charges go away. And with a pre-pardon, you don't have to admit guilt as you do with a regular pardon, which is after the fact. So you see, this is all the game. And then all of a sudden you see Eric Adams today may be denied matching funds by the CFB because he's been so corrupt. He's a crook. Will you all realize he's stolen money and he's given it out to all of his cronies? And now the biggest crony of all, Ingrid Lewis Martin, is being told by Arthur Aidala, you want to avoid going to jail? You got to come to a proffer session. He'll never admit that, but I know what goes on. And remember what Eric Adams said not long ago about, look behind me, look at all the people in my administration.
Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York?
Look at all the chocolate that's the party, right? First Deputy Sheena, right? David Banks, Phil Banks, Timothy Pearson, and now Ingrid Lewis Martin. And they've all been replaced by vanilla wafers from Park Avenue because it's Kathy Holcomb who tells him it's time to replace the chocolate with the vanilla, Eric. Remember, I can fire you. This guy can't make a choice. Adrian Adams runs the city council. Holcomb tells him who to appoint. Take the black guy, the black woman out, put the vanilla wafer in, and it better be from Park Avenue. And all of a sudden, he's going to be kissing up to Trump. And, you know, some of our fellow Republicans, they're buying it hook, line, and sinker.
I can't. Well, I try to tell them all not to. I reach out to as many people as possible, not because I want to ruin Eric. I don't dislike him personally, but I can't take the nonsense. I mean, it is really insulting. If you really believe in your heart of hearts that Eric Adams all of a sudden figured out what's good and bad for this city, you're somewhere between naive and stupid and closer to the latter.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me be Karnak the Magnificent, Sonny Carson. What the hell? Johnny Carson.
Yeah, Johnny Carson, yes.
And let me predict this is what's going to happen. You're going to get that call from Boris because of Bill White. Tomorrow, I will be told by Justin Ellick, your executive producer, we have to cancel your 7:15 a.m. hit tomorrow. And I'd say, well, who do you have? We got Rabbi Don't Knock 'em a Knock 'em coming on. I said, who's he? Don't worry about it. So all of a sudden, Boris is going to say, hey, man, you got to get Sliwa out of there, man. He's killing this thing where Eric Adams on January 20th, you saw the other article, he wants to go to the inauguration.
What he wants
He wants to be on the stage.
He may want to be there, but as far as I know, there has been nothing offered to the mayor to be there.
Well, because he's got to do a pre-meeting. He's told his police detail, and you know I've never been wrong.
I know.
I got rats jumping out of the sinking ship at City Hall. They've been told, be ready. At a moment's notice, it's wheels up, and we're going to Mar-a-Lago. The pre-meeting. And at that meeting, he will have to kiss the ring and be seen with President Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. And then only will he be invited to the inauguration. And that's where he'll start rocking a MAGA hat. Different, though. Make New York great again.
Yeah. So what happens? I'm going to be at Mar-a-Lago with Siggy Flicker, her handsome husband, Michael, me and my beautiful wife, Danielle. What happens? December 28th. So what happens if it's December 28th? Me, Danielle, Siggy, and Michael are having dinner. President Trump will 1,000% walk over and say hello. And all of a sudden, the mayor, Eric Adams, enters the dining room. So now you got me, Danielle, Siggy, Michael, and President Trump. And here comes Adams.
He's done that before. Remember at that UFC fight? All of a sudden, Trump comes in with his entourage, with Dana White, his Joe Rogan, the announcer. I mean, Trump had everybody with him, RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, they were all there.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, Eric Adams, who's never been to a UFC fight, is ringside. And they're like talking like they're the best of friends. It's the same thing. You're going to be sitting there. Eric Adams will come in, and Donald Trump's going to look at you and say, I want you to make the peace. Sid, you do this for me, right? I want you to make the peace because we want this guy to become a Republican. We want him to be reelected because we control him now. He can't do anything. If I say dance, he dances. If I say jump, Eric Adams goes, Mr. President, how high do you want me to jump? They got him by the short hairs. Everybody's got him by the short hairs. Alvin Bragg, Adrian Adams, who runs the city council. He looks around, he goes, I'm mayor in name only. My only hope, though, is to get that pre-pardon. So if I got to shuck, if I got to jibe, whatever I got to do, like Bojangles, count on me, President Donald Trump, because it's vanilla time. Watch. He ain't going to be saying, well, what did he say about Chocolate City there? Let me hear that one more time.
Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York?
He's going to say, look at all my vanilla. And they're from Park Avenue in Manhattan, not in Brooklyn and not in the Bronx. Man, he is going all white all the time now, and it ain't Bill White. And by the way, you mentioned Bill White. You like it when gay guys flirt with you, Sid.
Doesn't every guy like that?
Oh, Rob Shooter was on. He was your favorite gay guy.
He was, and then it turned out that he was with her, so I blocked him on social media. I even went as far as calling Rosanna Scotto and complaining about her putting him on because he was a very, very loud and proud Harris supporter.
Yeah, I know, but for a while there, he had a fling with you on the radio.
No, he was in.
And then there's Bill White. He's old school, right? Yeah. And then there's your latest gay guy that you fell in love with his long
No. It's the other way around.
Scott Pressler.
Pressler calls me babe.
Oh, yeah, and you don't reject that. You love that as a metrosexual. Hey, gay guys out there, you want to get on with Sid Rosenberg? Just flirt with him. Just flirt with him. He just loves that. God. Oh, and now there'll be a battle between Bill White, old school gays, versus Scott Pressler, new generation of gays.
Tough.
I'm more GOP than you.
Very
and notice
tough.
how Bill White immediately invited you to Brussels.
Yes, he did, yes.
Without Danielle or with Danielle?
It doesn't matter.
You see what I'm saying?
I can find an hour.
And by the way, Bill White, if you're listening, you want to deal with the drug problem coming out of Amsterdam and Brussels, it's called ecstasy. Oh yeah. How many millions of ecstasy pills have come into this country?
Too many.
How many hits? And I hate to bust your bubble, Sid. Some of them brought in by Booker Boys.
No.
Oh, yes.
This is not been confirmed by anybody.
You know me.
This has not been confirmed by anybody.
This has been, there have been indictments to that effect.
No. So Scott Pressler actually saw your video that you did about me this weekend. He hates Senator Schumer.
Oh, he's going to help you.
He loved the video.
Oh, my God.
But he went as far as this. When can I come into studio and make a video with you?
You see? Bill White is already cheating on you. He is, I'm telling you. Now, what Bill White said, he said, well, in that precinct of King of Prussia in Pennsylvania, from the last time against Joe Biden, Joe Scranton Biden, we did 20% more in the vote. That's the whole precinct.
22% to be exact.
But that's the whole precinct, including heterosexuals and people who are gender fluid. I want to know the vote of gay men. I will bet you it skyrocketed 1,852% when Sid got up there in his skivvies, his BVDs, and he started to do the Trump dance to the village people, YMCA. Don't lie, that's what you did, Sid.
I did it. I'm not going to lie to you. I did it.
That skyrocketed.
Yes.
I heard from gay guys in Fishtown in Philadelphia who were watching it on video. The guys were toasting you and saying, oh, my wettest dream would be to have Sid Rosenberg in bed with me, and I would be his catcher, and he can come pitch to me anytime, anywhere, any place. Don't deny it, Sid. Come on. And by the way, it's time for Arthur Idell, a friend of Sid Rosenberg, to come clean. We know what's going on. Come on, Arthur. You're not leaving the campaign because they call you the friendliest defense attorney, right, in the courtroom, because you're always there to make a deal. You're always there for a proper session. And Ingrid Lewis-Martin, get ready. Alvin Bragg is going to make you queen for a day, and he's going to tell you, Ingrid, you know who we want. We don't want you. We want Eric. That's why Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, will never name and shame Alvin Bragg. And now, as Paul Harvey would say, you know the rest of the story.